Hey everyone, and welcome to call number 8 in the Southern Romantics New Consultant webinars. This is our pretty little bow on top. This is our going forward call. So this is putting the nice little ribbon around it of the past 8 calls. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you weren't able to join us in person on these, and I hope you're able to go back and watch the videos. So hopefully this will kind of help wrap it all in a nice little bow. And if you missed any of them, then you can always watch the videos and you'll get credit for attending when we start the next round next week with call number 1. So get excited. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so going back kind of to the beginning, we want to encourage you now that some of you have been in the business for about 2 months, some of you have been in the business for about 2 days, but think about where you and your business are headed. Are you on track with your goals, and have you maybe even changed your goals a little bit from where you started? So I want you to think about that, and then when we wrap up at the end, I'll give you a little feedback time so you guys can let me know. So if you're just laying out your goals, awesome. If you're like, oh, I'm supposed to have goals, yeah. When you hang out with me, you're supposed to have goals. I want to touch back on time management a little bit. Just because most women that get into this business are doing this part-time on top of a real job or on top of family commitments. Basically, nobody does this full-time without any other sort of life, unless you're crazy. So making sure that you're managing your time effectively to get the most amount of work done in the shortest amount of time. There's Jessica. Hello, beautiful. Then we are going to make sure that you keep working on time management. Believe me, it's kind of a bear, but as long as you keep working on it and you keep eking out that time that you can devote to training and learning more about your business and studying up on new products and making sure you have time for your parties, then the better you're going to be in this business. So one of my highly recommended books is called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. This book is amazing. I know it's also an audiobook, so if you're on Audible, or you can buy it on Amazon Kindle and you can download it and read it on your iPad or your Kindle, but this book is fantastic. It's small, it's not a big book, but it's fantastic. It's called 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. And reading this book honestly really changed how I viewed my business, because I was really good at sitting on the couch and watching TV and being like, I should probably get some work done. But, you know, those mountains of things were way too big to tackle, and I didn't know where to start, so I just didn't do anything. And this really helped me break it down into the things that I should be doing, and it also has really helped me learn how to delegate out to my assistant what someone else can do for me. And I highly encourage you not to worry about getting an assistant right now, because you need to tackle all parts of your business and become a master at all of them before you delegate them out to someone else. Another book that really helped, and I know this is one of Cindy Faulkner's favorites, it's called Time Management from the Inside Out by Julie Morgenstern. It's a little bit bigger, but it's a great book. I used to think I was really good at time management until I started working for myself. I was really good at time management when I was working for other people, because I'd get all my work done as fast as I could so I can just sit and play on the internet all day. But now that I sit on the internet and play all day, I have to make sure I'm making time for work. So chunking out everything I'm supposed to do and giving myself the appropriate amount of time to do it has been fan-freaking-tastic, and this book has really, really helped. So I have these for you guys to read if you want to loan, if you want me to loan them out. I just make sure I get it back, because these are my faves. All right, so basic time management. If you're like, Megan, I don't even have time to read, then what I need you to do is, just like if you're keeping a food journal for a nutritionist, is list everything that you do in a day, a week, and a month for your business. It's the same kind of thing I made you do with your budgets last fall, when everyone's like, I don't have any money. And then we started tracking where all our money went, all right? So list everything that you do. So even if you just keep a little sheet of paper and it's like 7:30 wake up, 20 minutes shower, 20 minutes get ready, 5 minutes eat, 5 minutes out the door, 20-minute commute to work. Write it all down, including when you're sitting on the toilet checking your Facebook, or when you're sitting at your office checking your Facebook, because we don't realize how much time we get sucked into Facebook, and we lose all that time and we weren't necessarily being productive. Social media can be great, but it can also be a big fat pain in the butt. So how much time does everything that you do take, and how much time should it really take? On average, this is something I learned, it takes 7 minutes to recover from a distraction. And in one of my notes from this week, oh my gosh, what did he say? Hold on, this one was really good. I've got all my notes. I was typing these up earlier. Matthew Kelly was a great speaker that we had on Friday morning. And he said, oh Jesus, I made sure I wrote it down because it was awesome. So it was something like how much time you spend weighing, oh Jesus, this is what I get for not having it together. Anyway, I'll see if I can find it for Tuesday, but it was pretty much like, stop wasting time. And it was good because he told you like exactly how many seconds in the day that you were completely wasting. And it made me feel like a piece of crap, but it was okay because sometimes I need to feel like a piece of crap so I can work myself harder. Maybe I didn't write it down because I know if I wrote it down, I'd have to hold myself accountable. Anyway, so how much time does every single task that you need to achieve take in your business? And what can you delegate? What can you give to someone else? How can you effectively use your time? Can you stamp your catalogs and your products while you're watching The Walking Dead? Can you delegate that out to a husband, a partner, a spouse, a child? You know, don't let them see the toys, but can they put stickers on your bottles? Big tips that I've taken away are touch things once in your business. So if, like, let's say customer connection cards, because a lot of us touch these things 1,000 times. I'm really bad about touching these thousands of times. The rule is to touch it once and put it away. So make sure you've gotten everything off of this card that you need to be able to follow up with people, categorize them in the appropriate group. And then when you put it away, you don't have to touch it again. So touch it once. It's the same with order forms. When you get your order forms after the party, do everything you have to do with that order form and then file it and put it away. And the biggest way to help you do that is by developing a system. So how do you do your post-party orders? How do you figure out what your inventory needs to be for you to place your big bulk orders? Developing a system for your success is highly, highly, highly encouraged and super important to run an effective and an efficient business. We say if you're doing one party, you should have about an hour's worth of paperwork for each party, and that's back-end stuff. That's placing your order, that's filling back orders, that's putting people into the COO. So it should be an hour per party. So if you're finding that that takes way too much time, then there's ways to whittle it down. We just have to help develop a system. And I think I posted a video on YouTube about this. You guys can go back in our YouTube playlist and see if you can find like what I do, my post-party follow-up and my post-party like system of what I do just to get things off my desk, which hasn't really happened this week because I've been gone. Set specific office hours for your business, especially if you have other things competing for your attention. Set office hours. If you need to wait for your office hours to be after your kids go to sleep, or maybe while they're in school or laying down for a nap, or maybe it's Saturday mornings and your partner or your spouse can take the kids to soccer practice. But set specific office hours so that your hostesses and your potential recruits know how and when to get a hold of you. And stay consistent, and then have a plan for those office hours. What are you going to tackle that day? What are you going to tackle for those 2 to 3 hours? Make sure you're concentrating on income producing activities such as booking parties, hostess coaching and party planning, talking to your potential recruits, and working with your current team members. So making sure that those are your top priorities. Don't just be like, I have 3 hours to work on my business. I think I'm just going to sit here and sticker my books. No, don't do that. Get on the phone, book a party. I know the phone is like the heaviest thing on the planet. This weighs more than a kettlebell. So I know this is really heavy for you guys. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Talk to your people. The only way you're going to get more money, it's not by putting a label on your product, it's by booking another party, working to get those girls that are on the fence to join your team. Ignore, if you seriously have 3 hours a week for your office hours, do not spend them on Facebook. Do not even open Facebook. All right, ignore those low priority items. If you're on my first call, then you know phone notifications are a huge no-no for me. And that was hard to cut the cord, you guys. It was really hard to go through all of my apps that like to tell me when people are like, oh, so-and-so liked your photo. Oh, so-and-so added you on LinkedIn. Oh, so-and-so retweeted you. Oh, so-and-so liked your photo on Instagram. Cut them all off. You don't need the phone notifications. Give yourself specific times of the day for checking your social media feeds, and then limit it 15 minutes at a time. And if you don't get all through those notifications, then you're probably spending too much time posting different things on Facebook to have that many notifications. So little 15-minute chunks, 2 to 4 times a day to check your Facebook and your Instagram and all that jazz, right? Especially when you're trying to focus on your office hours. Turn off your phone notifications. It's the same thing when your little buzzer goes off. It's going to take you 7 minutes to get back to whatever you were doing because you're going to get sucked down the rabbit hole. So if you turn off the notifications, it won't ding and buzz. And I'll tell you, if you're at my house for any reason and your phone starts buzzing and dinging, it's just going to piss me off because I have super ADD and I'm like, ah, I'm trying to focus on something, or I'm trying to have a conversation with you. And then when you're just like, that's really annoying, and I know I'm guilty of it too. Also, this is going to sound stupid, but my dog hates phone notifications. She seriously does. So if you're doing something and it scares my dog and she goes to hide in a corner because your little ding is too high-pitched, I'm going to be pissed because I love my puppy. She's my baby. All right? So just like if your phone ring woke up my child from a nap, I'd be just as angry. But I just have a dog. So one of the things that you'll kind of hear us say in Pure Romance is the speed of the leader is speed of the team. So I'm always trying to set a good example for you guys of what a successful business looks like and how it's run. Everybody's engagement level is going to be totally different. I honestly don't expect anybody to copy exactly what I do because it works for me, and I'll happily give you nuggets of wisdom that you can try to implement. But setting that pace for your girls and staying consistent is going to help keep them consistent. And a consistent business breeds success. So we say, like, you know, it's easier once you get the train going just to maintain that speed and keep that momentum. When you have to like break and stop and then get that momentum going again, it's just, you know, you stop and you start and you stop and you start. It'd be so much easier if you just push through. So making sure that you are keeping that in mind, and we know life things happen and that's totally understandable, but just doing as much as you can to stay consistent in your business, because the worst thing you can do is let everything completely drop off and then you look at your calendar and you have no parties coming up this month and you're like, crap, how do I get started? Well, you can get started by coming to the Booking Blitz on Tuesday, and I'm going to teach you how to get a lot of parties on your books for this month. Hey! The level of engagement determines your level of success. So what that means is when you show up, you go up. So if you are actively engaged in your business and you're going to trainings, and I know I'm coming off like World Conference High right now, but that when you're seeing these other girls post about like what's something that, especially girls where this is their first training ever, when they're being asked like what's one thing you're going to take away, you're going to hear all of them say, I have to show up. You have to come to these trainings. If you want a successful business and if you plan on having your business in 5 years and it being consistent and it making you money and it doing all these wonderful things that you see it doing for all these other women, if you're going to be one of those women, you have to show up. You have to show up to team meetings. You have to register for trainings. You have to come to the bus tour. I know that sounds kind of like, but that's what I truly and honestly credit my success to, is the only way I was going to learn what I didn't know, because I didn't have a strong sponsor. I didn't have anybody in my area to talk to. I had to go out and meet the people who are kicking ass and taking names in this business. And by doing that and introducing myself and learning from the women who are making a ton of money is how I've been able to at least build a team. Now we've got like 40, almost 40 women on this team. That's crazy. And I love it. And you guys are all amazing. But I know with the way like you guys are killing it right now with recruiting, like freaking awesome. So keep up the good work, but making sure that you're training your girls to that, to show up, to come to meetings, because we all get into this business for a reason. And a lot of us get into it to make some extra money. It might not be a career. It might not be a complete lifestyle. It might just be hobby money or date night money or kids' soccer practice money. But when they get to the point where they can't pay for their kids' cleats for soccer practice, it's going to be an issue. So making sure you're being consistent, that they can expect to earn this much money. You do it by showing up. You do it by learning what you don't know. With these new products, you have to spend some extra time getting to know these products so that you can know how to sell them. Knowing what flavors they come in, knowing what scents they come in, what it smells like, how it tastes. That's where the fun product testing comes in for us. So show up, show up, show up. Okay, so as long as you guys will know me, I'm going to preach showing up. So if you're like, oh, Megan, just get over it, I'm never going to get over it. So sisterhood and expectations for our happy little team, because we keep growing like crazy and I love it. So sisterhood, we treat everybody with respect. Everybody has a different story. Everybody's coming from a different background. Everybody brings something different to the table. This is a no judgment zone. Our little family is a big, fat, no judgment zone, just like the women at our parties. We have no idea what they're bringing to the table. We have no idea what their knowledge level is or what their questions may be. So just like you wouldn't judge any of these women that are at your party, I would hate for you guys to ever do that to any of your sisters. So we're going to always maintain a friendly demeanor. I know that sometimes people think that there's a lot of women in one space and they can't not help but be catty, but I don't believe that that has to happen. So if there's drama, you bring it to me. Always bring your drama to your mama. Don't ever complain down. If you're having a bad day, don't broadcast it to everybody. Don't ever tell your team like, oh, this job sucks, because it doesn't suck. We've got like the best job in the world. You're just probably having a bad day. But if she's new and you're putting that negative spin on it, then she's going to be like, oh my God, this job totally sucks. Why did I ever do this? So we want to keep it positive. We want to keep it happy. We don't do gossip. We just don't do gossip. If you hear a rumor about someone or someone was talking smack about someone, you don't ever need to spread that to anybody else. You can just be like, oh, well, that sucks. That person's probably just upset. And just bless it and release it. Don't spread it, because that's not what we're all about. We're about empowering women. We're never going to tear anybody else down. Hearsay is just that, hearsay. It doesn't need repeating. If it's something obviously where it hurt you, if it was something that was said about you, bring it to me. Believe me, I've been through it before. I can help you through it. More than anything, honestly, when people are talking about you, it's because they're jealous that you have a successful business and they aren't committing to it. And there's no room for that on our team. There's no room for that in this organization. So just bless it and release it. Remember your policies on trades and exchanges. As Active Pure Romance consultants, we cannot pay another consultant for their products. You can trade retail value for retail value. So say that I needed a Tease Me, just the sleeve, a $10 sleeve, and Jessica Horton had a blindfold. Boom, sweet. So we can just trade for that, or she needed a blindfold and I had one, because that's $10 a piece. It doesn't matter what buying discount I'm at. It doesn't matter what buying discount she's at. If we had to ship them because we were too far away to meet up, then the person who's in need of the product, like, oh my God, you'd really save my butt if you had this Tease Me, then it would be a really nice thing for that person to do, to throw a couple dollars their way to cover shipping. So shipping doesn't automatically cancel each other out. You can review all the policies on trades and exchanges on the Incentive Requirements Guide, which is the big PDF with all the rules, which you should be reading anyway. It's so exciting. But I feel like sometimes people get tripped up over trades and exchanges. Just make sure you do that quickly. So if you have agreed, you shipped someone something to help cover something for them, they should really try to ship it as soon as possible. I see that we've got 10 minutes left. And I feel like some of that's very simple, but I know for a lot of women, trades and exchanges can get a little confusing. So like I'm offering to purchase catalogs for everybody right now, because that's a business expense. Then I will totally be making you guys pay me for those catalogs, because it's business supplies. If it was product, I would never order product for you, unless it was like an emergency and you're like, oh my God, Megan, I totally forgot to order this. Can you get it for me? Heck yeah, I'll do it. But I don't want to get in the habit of doing that because you really need that retail credit on your orders. But when that happens, what you're going to do is you're going to replace it, or you're going to give me something of equal value that I can keep in my inventory. So that's kind of all that we're talking about in this call. So just kind of like basic reviews. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute it. And if we can just kind of go down the line of where you are, and is your business headed in the way that you thought it was 8 calls ago or whenever you started with your business? And are you on track with where you wanted to be for 2016? And if not, what steps are you actively taking to do that? So I'm going to unmute you guys and let you guys tell me a little bit more about your goals for your business. Have at it.
Does this work? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Shut up, really?
I can hear you, Beth.
Yes.
Your goals.
Oh, it works.
Where are my keys, honey?
Nice.
What are your goals like, Beth? Tell me about them. Do you feel like you're meeting them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I believe you. I totally believe you. It was very convincing. Who else? Jessica Dunn, you've been in a hot second. Tell us about your goals, Jay Dunn.
Well, they've completely changed from when I started the business. When I started the business, I had the 40-hour credit union job, and now I don't. So before I was doing a couple parties a week, or 4 parties a month, good, and now I've like had to revamp that completely. So, but I have a lot of parties on the books for April. Not a great month, but April is a new month, so
You get it?
and I'm going to read those 2 books that you just recommended. So we can, I know I can always improve on my time management. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to find another girl this weekend.
Yay! Fantastic. Awesome. Caitlin, how about you?
Well, right now I know that it's kind of slow for me because I'm in school, so I'm hoping to really get on track when May comes because I have 2 parties booked for now, but I really probably couldn't do too much more considering I have 2 exams, 2 projects coming up. So right now I'm good, but I'm really hoping with the calls that we're doing on Tuesday to hopefully boost that for May for sure, get it more started. I have Caitlin still wanting to become a consultant. She's just worried about money, so I kind of talked her into, like, if you don't think you have money, then let's do a party for you where you can go and buy your kit afterwards. I told her we can do that at the beginning of May where I can actually be more involved in what she's doing.
Heck yeah. And tell her to come to a meeting. Bring her to the meeting next Monday.
I want to, but that party I booked accidentally was on the same day. And I didn't realize it until afterwards, so I was like, oh.
That's okay, girl. We'll let you make some money.
I'm sorry. I felt really bad. I was like, I want to be at the meeting. I want my stuff. But I didn't want to cancel on them.
Nope, that's fine. I hear you. Okay, Jessica Horton, how are you? I know you've had some stuff going on this year. Did you have any goals set out for the beginning of 2016?
You're going in and out a little bit. I'm headed to the church to get my baby. So hopefully you'll get this before I go out. But
Yeah.
My goals for this year, of course, have not gone as planned so far. As I did kind of slow down there in December, just due to some family issues. But my goal now is, and a lot of it was the fact of, team members and the lack of not being there for them, because that is what creates your business. So that I can take a break. So the lack thereof, but my goal as of right now, because I don't ever want to do anything in life, and it doesn't matter whether it's my job or whatever it is, but I don't ever want to do anything in life that I can't give my all to. I feel like this is a job of empowering women, and that's what we do. And if we're not empowered ourselves, then we can't give our all to them, and then our business suffers anyways. So I think sometimes we have to recollect things, and then, get back up and going. So my goal now is to get back and to go full force with the dreams and the goals that I had at our award ceremony. And that's, at least 8 to 9 parties a month for me, just because I don't have a full-time job, but I also don't have a full-time open schedule with 4 kids. So, so those are my goals. And then of course to build my team back up instead of where I was. So I have a lot of goals, and you heard a lot of mine. But the biggest thing, I think, like you said earlier, you have to show up to go up. Because, and it's anything in life, again, I battled 5 days of depression at Easter time. I didn't even get to spend, with my children. So I was in the bed. And I think that relates to life. If you don't get up and do it, you'll never achieve it.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
The same in your job. You got to get up and you got to go. You got to treat it like a job.
Definitely.
And learn from it. So
awesome. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you're going to tackle this year. It's going to be great. All right. Is that Meredith on here too?
I'm in the dark. I'm in the car.
Okay.
Me too, girl.
What are your goals this year, Meredith?
Well, I'm just starting. I did my first party last night. I know. So I guess at this point, just continue booking parties and then start to build a team beyond that.
Fantastic. Awesome. All right. And let's talk with Christy, who signed like 2 days ago. Christy, what goals do you have?
Well, at first I was trying to find a job that would work with my current job and it's full-time. And I have a somewhat flexible, stable schedule. So if something happens last minute, okay, it's fine. And I figure, you know what, that would be great with this, because if they could do a daytime party, I can maybe come in a little bit later. Also, I wanted to bring that comfort and that knowledge to other women. I was really uneasy about going to some local places about certain accessories. And trying out some of the other products, like Coochie, for example, I really enjoyed the effect of it. And also, I wanted to learn of what I can achieve and personal growth.
Awesome. Well, good. Well, I'm so excited to hear all of you guys put these into words, because I know sometimes it's going to be like, oh, I want to make some money. So when you are able, or, oh, I want to help better my life circumstance. I'm really excited when you guys are able to say those things out loud and you can put like definitives on that, so you can set benchmarks and then you can hit them, which kicks ass and take names. So I'm really excited anytime you guys have that kind of stuff written down. And this year's theme is I Will. I've got my I Will banner, and everyone should probably get one of these in their kits still, and then you can just write down your goals. And I literally have mine hanging in the window right over my desk, so I see it every single day, and it helps keeps me motivated, so I can, when I'm having a crap day, I can look at it and be like, oh my God, yep, I gotta get up, I gotta do it, right? My bills are not gonna pay themselves. So we've got less than a minute left, so I'm gonna take this time real quick to sign off. What I'll do is we will stop recording. I'll hop back on for another 10, 15 minutes if anyone has any questions that weren't addressed during this, and I'm happy to talk to you guys. So thank you for a glorious, glorious meeting. Thanks for wrapping this up with me. And then if you want to just hop back on using the same link, I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Bye.